with my March Plan With Me. It took me a while to come up with a theme for this month, but March 8th is International Women's Day, and I was super inspired by bujostephf's recreation of this artist's work on Instagram called kashynskyart. I fell in love with how minimal and stunning the portraits are, and I really wanted to recreate them in my own spreads as well. This entire theme was honestly an amazing reminder of how strong and beautiful women are. So I hope you all like this month's theme, and let's just jump right into the video. So for these portraits, I used a pencil and lightly sketched out the outlines for the colors. I'm not going over them with a pen at all, so they're just acting as a guideline for the color placement. For my cover page, I customized this portrait to resemble me, so you can choose whatever colors you want for the skin tone and hair. I made sure to go with the lightest colors to the darkest colors because if you put down a dark color first, it can bleed into the lighter colors. This theme called for a lot of different Tombow markers, so I'll list them all down below. For the skin tones, I used 5 colors ranging from a very light pale pink to a deep brown. Then I had about 4 hair colors, 3 lipstick colors, and like 5 different colors for the background and clothes that I changed up. Here I chose a dark camel color for the sweater, a burgundy for the lipstick, and a pink for the background since that's my favorite color. And then I added another rectangle above in this seafoam green color where I'll write out March on top. I also used a gold Sakura jelly roll pen to give the earrings a pretty shine. I wanted to include a motivational quote on the other side, and I found this amazing one by Michelle Obama that says, "There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish." And this just resonates with me so deeply, and I think it's something that we all should always remember. Moving onto the calendar spread. I wanted to keep this month pretty minimal to match the portrait's vibe. I used these 6x6 boxes for the calendar. Then I wrote March on the left side and used this large serif font style for the days of the week on top. Instead of having a box section for my to-do list like I usually do, I just used the empty space left at the bottom. And I actually really like how simple this looks, so I'll have to use this layout more often in the future. I colored in the portrait in the top left corner using the seafoam green for the top, an olive green for the background, a light baby pink for the lipstick, a light brown for the complexion, and a dark brown for the hair. To add in a little more color, I used the 5 main background colors to stripe the tops of the calendar, and I added the dates on top. Now for my mood tracker, I went with this circular format and I divided it out into 32 sections, but since there's only 31 days in the month, I filled in that last section with a little Venus symbol. And since I wanted to use my background colors for my moods, I had to keep the portrait very neutral so the colors wouldn't end up blending together. I just used different shades of beige for the skin, background, and clothes. Then I used brown for the hair and added a little pop of color with her red lipstick. Then for the habit trackers, I wrote them all out with the calendar shapes underneath, making sure to leave the middle section empty. I used the tan, seafoam green, pink, and olive colors to fill in the calendars, and for that little middle part, I doodled in a portrait using the olive green for her shirt, pink for the background, burgundy for her lipstick, and a deep brown for the skin tone, and black for the hair. Then I just added another little quote that says, "Life tried to crush her, but only succeeded in creating a diamond." And to match the quote, I used my Sakura jelly roll in silver for her earrings. In honor of Women's Day, I wanted to include a self-love page because I think it's really important to not only work hard and be a boss woman, but to also make sure we take care of ourselves and put us first every once in a while. This layout was inspired by Plan for Productivity, so I just created 4 large irregular blob shapes, and in them I'm going to write out 4 different activities that help enrich my mind, heart, body, and soul. You can write down anything that you love to do, but if you wanted some examples, for my mind I wrote meditate, read a book, practice calligraphy, and learn a new skill. For my heart, I wrote play with cats, watch a movie, doodle with some hot tea, and snuggle. For my body, I have down get a massage, use a face mask, take a walk, and stretch. And then for my soul, I put spend a day outdoors, eat mom's homemade cooking, reflect and journal, and spend a day in bed. These are just some small things that make me happy, and I would love to hear what you do for your self-care routine, so please let me know down below. Now onto my first weekly spread. I used these 8x10 boxes and I added a portrait in the bottom right one. I used this rich burgundy shade for the background, a medium brown for the skin tone, black for the hair, and a light pink for the lipstick. I wrote out the days of the week using faux calligraphy, and for the middle sections, I wrote the days of the week out on the bottom just to break up the text a little bit, and I used the same burgundy color for the dates. I really liked how the faux calligraphy looked on this spread, so I went back to my self-love spread and added faux calligraphy there as well. I combined the second and third weeks by adding one large portrait in the middle of the pages. I used a beige for the shirt, a pale pink for the skin tone, burgundy for the lipstick, olive green for the background, and a bright orange for the hair. I just used a serif font for the dates going down the left and right sides and added a line to divide each section. I thought there was too much empty space at the top, so I wrote out empower using faux calligraphy, and I really like how it almost looks like a crown above her head. So this next weekly spread just turned out to be a big mess. I really don't like how it turned out, but I tried to salvage it as best as I could. So I started out with these same blob shapes I used in my self-love spread, and I added a little portrait in the bottom left corner using beige for the background, a light pale pink for the skin tone, yellow for the hair, and red for the lipstick and outfit. I really should have kept these date portions more simple looking, but I started adding these little dots and lines here and there, and before I knew it, I added way too much. So to help tie it in better, I went back to the self-love spread and added a few little embellishments around, and I do like how this turned out, so I'm fine with it. I just have to remind myself that I won't be 100% satisfied with how every single spread turns out, and it's okay to just let it go. To be honest, I think my brain was just mush at this point because I was already like 2 to 3 hours into filming, so I'm just gonna blame it on that. And finally, onto the last weekly, I doodled a portrait in the top right corner. I used pink for her shirt, seafoam green for the background, burgundy for the lipstick, medium brown for her complexion, and a dark brown for the hair. I used a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to write the first letter for the days of the week and added these black circles where I'll add the dates on top with my white POSCA pen. I made these sections really big since there was only 2 days left in the month, and I threw in a note section on the right. I used the seafoam green to stripe the note section, and I also go over the olive green I initially put down for the dividers since I wanted to make the colors look more cohesive. and that olive green just stuck out too much for me. Then to add in one final quote, I created another square next to the portrait using a light beige color, and on top I wrote, "The strongest actions for a woman is to love herself, be herself, and shine amongst those who never believed she could." And that is it for my March Plan With Me. I hope you all didn't mind that this had so many motivational quotes throughout. Some people might find it cheesy, but you know, it's good to hype yourself up every once in a while. I'm really proud of how this theme turned out. I think it's quite different than anything that I've done before. So if you decide to recreate any of these spreads, please tag me on Instagram at AFZXX3 to be featured in my next video. Here are some amazing recreations I found on Instagram and Pinterest. Thank you so much for sharing them with me. I really love seeing these. Have a happy International Women's Day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!